welcome to the Wrightreview. I'm Z, this is my dad.
How y'all doing?
Today we're doing Angels with 30 Faces from 1938. Tell about the review.
Oh, well, the movie is basically about a young man. They show him from his early teens into his, late to early 30s. And during them years, because he's from what they consider the wrong side of the track because he's born poor. So he's turned to a life of crime to survive. And it's showing from them years all the way until he's older, the things he had to go through with the decisions, that he made or had to make to survive, I don't think. And but as far as the story go, what did you think about the movie?
I liked it. It's a good gangster movie. Most of the characters are likable.
Yeah.
I like the big shootouts.
Okay.
The cinematography, the shots are good.
Yeah, especially for the times.
Mm-hmm. What you think of it?
Well, I love this movie. When I was younger, me and my mom, your grandma, used to watch this a lot. But she turned me on to the old black and white gangster movies. So I wouldn't be distracted by the color. I pay more attention to the story. But yeah, I love the movie.
I'll let you start with the characters.
Okay. Yeah, so let's start with Jerry Connolly. Father Jerry. Well, Father Jerry is an interesting character, depending on your point of view in life. Would that be fair to say?
Well said.
Because, as a kid, him and his best friend Rocky used to do things, to have money to be able to, eat and, just survive. Because as you see, they're very dirty, and you see the community they come from is very, very overpopulated. And so for him to come out of that situation and become a priest, and he's trying to help the kids stay out of the streets and headed down the way he was headed down the path. And then another thing I kind of got to say about Jerry is in the beginning when they kind of got arrested and he got away. He came down and told his buddy, "Let me turn myself in because I don't want you doing no time for me." So some of the things he did wasn't too good, but he has some things, to hold him up. And then more important than that, he was honest with his buddy, and he told him straight up. So, at least he didn't sneak behind his back.
Are you done saying all the good things about him?
I'm done. I'm gonna let you talk about
He's a dirty rat. He literally looked in his friend's eyes and said, "I'm going to lead to something that's going to probably lead to you going back to jail."
Yeah, he said, "I'm gonna take you down."
And he led to his friend's death. And so much more.
But he told his friend,
and he should understand where his friend's coming from, since, as you said, he was in this. He just
he wasn't in it to the level that his friend was into. He was back then when they were just stealing ink pens off the train. They wasn't. His friend got into.
He's just a no good dirty rat, and that's
his friend, to them, from his lifestyle led to him becoming a murderer or whatever. But okay, enough about Jerry. But no, hold on about Jerry though. You gotta understand that when Rocky came home, all them kids was loving him, and they wasn't going to church, going to school. They was being bullies. Well, we ain't gonna even get into. We get into that.
I forgot one thing about him.
Go ahead.
He also asked his friend to ruin his reputation for the rest of all time.
Yeah, that.
Truly a good friend behavior. I know I want to do that to my friend one day.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, his friend was always there for him, no matter.
So why couldn't he do the same?
Just one. I mean, his friend did other things, but we'll get back to that later. Who is your next character?
You can go again.
Okay. We'll talk about Frasier. He was
lawyer.
Yeah, he was a lawyer at the beginning when
I mean, he's still technically his lawyer at the end.
Yeah, he's still a lawyer, but he
wasn't his.
No, he was still his lawyer, but he was
sneaky.
Well, I don't know if you remember Carlito's way. He was like Sean Penn. He was a gangster now.
Carlito's.
Yeah, Carlito's way. We're gonna get to that review too, but anyway, he was a gangster now because back then, remember, he was just a lawyer. Because that's one of my scenes, so I'm not gonna talk too much about that part. But yeah,
years passed.
Yeah, years passed, and now he's a lawyer, but he's working with another dude who's supposed to be one of the top gangsters since Rocky was away, and I guess he feeling in position, and he didn't think Rocky was gonna come out the way he did. But yeah, Frazier, he's a piece of crap too, because Rocky did what great men do, and he tried to do Rocky dirty. But you break down Frazier.
You basically said everything. All I can really say about him is Rocky told him he was coming for that money. He should have just gave him the money.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't happen to him.
Well,
I'll choose this next character.
Yeah, I was about to say, since we keep saying his name without...
Soapy.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you was going to...
As a teenager, I find him relatable in some matters.
Mm-hmm.
I like that they show he's a leader and he's honest and trustworthy.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to that scene later.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like how they did him at the ending, but again, I already got into my problems with the other characters, so I don't need to talk about more.
Okay. Yeah, I like Soapy. Because like you said, he showed real leadership. Skills. It might be in a negative way, but...
Also, he's trustworthy.
You said that.
I did?
Yeah, he said he was trustworthy. But yeah, he showed leadership skills. It might be wrong to people because, he just going off how he was raised and what he's seen growing up, and this is the way you're supposed to do things. So, they were stealing food because they needed to eat. Now, some of the other stuff they was doing was just crazy, like when they was walking down the street and they took the little baby. They wasn't taking it like, I guess, run away with it, but it still was crazy. The parent right there trying to buy some vegetables, and these guys just talking and playing and taking the baby. So yeah, they're a little...
He matures with the movie. He becomes a better leader.
He always is a good leader, but...
He picks more things up for the main character, and the main character teaches more things to all the boys. So I think at the end they're more... Yeah,
they're more mature for street life. I don't know if they're mature enough to go into the working class.
I never said that.
I know they're not mature enough to go into the working class.
I never said that.
Fact. Yeah,
Never said that.
No, you said he matured more. I said, I don't really know if he really matured more. He was tricked into straightening up later, but he didn't really mature at all. He just matured more into the crime boss type of mentality. Well, that's the direction he was going. But okay, do you want to go next?
You know what's your next character?
Well, I'm going to go to the guy we keep beating around the bush. We keep talking about him, but not talking about him. Rocky. Oh, Rocky Sullivan. Now, if you are a guy that comes from outside, you like a guy like Rocky. If you I guess what they say, law-abiding citizen, he might not be one of your favorite people to root for. But
I root for him.
no, I think because one thing characteristics Rocky had, like you said, about other people, Rocky's honest. Rocky's fair.
He's too fair.
Yeah, he's very nice to people that treats him nice. He's willing to take one for the team.
He took it multiple times.
Yeah, and doesn't have a problem with doing it. I mean, but he is also when you push him to the other way, he can be very, very violent.
Is that wrong?
I'm not saying he wasn't justified in some of his violence, but he definitely can take it to different levels.
Excuse me.
You alright?
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think about Rocky?
I like him. He's a good dude. I think he was too good for the people he was around. Treated him with that much respect and such multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
I like how he was a father figure for Soapy and his gang.
Yeah.
I liked his relationship with his lady friend.
Lori, his girl. Yeah.
Lori?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to get to her.
I don't really want to talk about, what's his name? The father.
But that's his man, too. I mean, if you're talking about Rocky, he loved that dude.
He loves him too much. Other than that, he's a great dude. Like you said, you did talk about the rest.
Okay, since you
mentioned... talked about the rest.
Since you mentioned it, I'm going to go to... She's my second favorite person in the movie.
I can agree.
Lori, his lady. I loved her from when they show her when she's a young girl all the way up to she older, because you could tell when she's young, she liked Rocky, so she trying to show off a little bit, but he looking at her like, get out of here. But she ain't no chump neither, so when he started talking that trash to her, told her, what'd he say? Get out of here before I put the mittens on you, or something. He said some old stuff. And she was like, man, nah, I ain't going nowhere. And he came down there, he pulled her head off, he bullied her, but she told him, I'm going to get you one day, Rocky Sullivan. And that's why I like later on when he come home and he ain't seen her since they was younger. And she get her payback on him. But she was always like, she was strong. She was there in his corner. And she loved him to death. And she was on his side, right or wrong. And you gotta respect that. What do you think about Lori?
You said everything I need to say. There's only one thing I want to bring up that shows her loyalty.
Okay.
And it's basically just her begging to whatever the father's name is. About how he's in the wrong and how they're gonna kill him.
Oh, she was basically telling the father, like, yeah, you can't go. Well, we'll get to that scene. So,
no, I already described the scene.
But no, I still want to get more deeper into the scene.
All right.
What's your scene that you want to start with?
You can start with the scene I was talking about.
Okay. So, well, anyway, like we said, well, to get to the scene, I really got to talk about Jury and Rocky's relationship. Because as we said in the beginning of the movie, Jury and Rocky was, they was pulled together. They was best buddies. They was like this. And they was on a train track. And remember Rocky was like, man, let's go. He looked in the thing, was like, oh, man, fountain pens. And Jury was like, no, Rocky, come on, let's not do that. And Rocky was like, man, we need some money so we can eat and blah, blah, blah. And Jury was like, okay. And while they were still in the police having to see that the lock was broke and whatever, the police got to chasing them. Jury got away, Rocky got caught. And when Rocky went in, that's when Jury, I was talking about earlier, how Jury came down there, was like, nah, Rocky, I can't have you in here for me. And Rocky was like, don't be a fool. Man, I'm going to take the charge for us. You my buddy, man. And I think he lied to Jury. Because Jury said, man, nah, Rocky, because if it was me, you'll come down and do the time with me. You wouldn't let me do the time by myself. And Rocky was like, yes, I would. Don't be a fool. But I think he was just lying to Jury so Jury would feel good about just leaving so Rocky wouldn't, so Jury wouldn't be weighing on Jury's mind that, hey, my buddy in there doing this time for me and I'm out here just living freely. And then as like you said, years going past. They keep showing Rocky. He getting older, but they not really showing him. They just see him catching charges. He getting 3 years for this, 5 years for that. And as time passed, it was 15 years later when they meet back up again. And Jerry's now the preacher, and Rocky's, gangster. One of the top gangsters in the, I guess, in this, wherever they at, New York or whatever. But, so, like I said, as he get back out of jail, he gets into the streets. Like you say, he becomes a father figure with Shorty and them. But he's also dealing back in the criminal lifestyle. Getting money with Frazier and the other dude. We didn't even do Matt, but I guess we'll bring him up talking about the scenes.
I completely forgot his is.
Yes, but but anyway, back to the scene. Now the jury see that Rocky's taking over. The kids loving him. They're not coming to the basketball gym no more. Jury tells Rocky that I'm about to get the law against you. We coming at you and all your buddies. And Rocky tell him, man, go ahead, do your thing. I ain't mad. He wish him good luck. But then so whenever they finally get the police to go with him and they get Rocky locked up. But before they locking Rocky up, but when it's building and getting in the newspaper, that's when you talking about Lori come and she begged the father like, stop, don't do this. This Rocky. We love him. You love him. And he's like, yeah, I love him, but he's a bad guy. She's like, nah, he ain't bad. He don't mean, he means well. He's not trying to do nothing to nobody that not trying to do nothing to him. So, yeah, and then the father, we'll talk about that scene later, will really make you hate the father. Right? So, what's your scene?
My scene could be when they come to get Rocky, the police come in, he's literally telling them where to check and stuff, and he just walks out there. They bring him down to the station and everything, and he just... I'm being bad at this point. So basically, Mo and what's his name?
Frazier and Mac
got the police to charge Rocky for kidnapping Frazier. He didn't kidnap him. They check his apartment. He has nothing because he sent Soapy out with
all the money. The 100,000 they were looking for.
And I was laughing because he's like, check my jacket, check the check the trash can. They hit him to the station, can't find nothing. And literally, Mac has to call him back after Frazier explains that he stole their receipts, deeds, whatever.
Yeah, because I'm gonna go more deep into it because I know you telling it, but you gotta jump around so they might not catch all of it. Because when, like you said, when Rocky, at one of them times, I forgot to explain to them, when Rocky, that's why I said I didn't want to get all the way into Frazier because that scene came in. Remember Rocky and Frazier was doing business that's when Frazier was his lawyer. Mm-hmm. And Frazier was like, Rocky, you gotta take this time because if you take the time, they'll take the money. And Rocky was like, huh? I gotta do the time? He was like, okay, I'm gonna do this 3 years and when I come home, I want my 100,000. That, the 3 years went past. And when he came home, he went right to Frazier and he was like, with my 100,000. Frazier was like, oh, I ain't got it. And he was like, but I got 500 for you. And Rocky was like, all right, cool, I'll take that. But then also, you can let me know where I fit in the business. And that's when Frazier basically brought in Mac, talking about, oh, well, no, I work for Mac. He's the guy, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, man, I ain't got nothing to do with that. When I did that 3 years, I told you. I want my 100,000. Just let me know where I fit in, where I got to pick up the money, what's my percentage and all that. And we cool. I don't have nothing to do with Mac. Me and you got a deal. So I want my percentage out of your percentage. And he was like, oh, all right. But the whole time, that's when Mac came in and he introduced Mac to him. Mac didn't know what was going on at the time. But when him and Mac was living out, remember he called the dude at the bar. And he's like, you see that dude leaving out with Mac? Get on top of him. But that also leads to your scene. So I'm going to skip that part because we're going to come back to your scene. So bad. What was talking about, Frazier?
Him having his money?
Yeah. about the 100,000. Dang, I forgot what I was talking about with. Oh yeah.
Going back.
Yeah, so but when, like you said, so later on he found out after your scene, he said, "Oh yeah, you want to play Frazier?" And went to Frazier's house. Remember, he kidnapped him, and went in the safe, took all the their books with all their income, the police they paying, everything, all the information that he could have turned in and told on them, or he basically had him by the nuts. But that's when he come out and come to the office, and Mac find out that he snatched Frazier. The whole time he told him he kidnapped Frazier and lied, said my man got him and all that. And if y'all follow me, I'm gonna call he called the person on the phone the whole time. It was the grocery dude. The grocery dude didn't even know it was him. He was like, yeah, somebody follow me. Whack Frazier. And the dude like, what are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Are you crazy?
Yeah, are you crazy?
Yes.
He said, yeah. And then hung up the phone. So he was like, yeah. The whole time, he had been let Frazier go. So when he left, Mac called. He was like, oh yeah. The dude's like, you want us to kill him? He's like, nah, I'm gonna get the police. Mac had ass. You see what I'm saying? You a gangster, but you calling the police. Nah, why would you do something like that? We can get the police. And called the police and told the police he kidnapped Frazier. The whole time. He was like, nah, that's when they did the part you talking about. He gave the money to Soapy, and then he told him, oh. They said, yeah, you got the 100,000. He was like, oh, search my closet. Oh, don't forget to search my jacket. Oh, search the trash can too. And they ain't find the money. And that's when he was like, Frazier came out and called, and Mac told him, yeah, we sent the police on. He said, nah, man, you can't do that. He got all our information. And then that's when they flipped back to the scene. We should have did this earlier. You all yawning. They flipped back to the scene, and that's when he was like, man, what are you talking about? They was like, yeah, you kidnapped Frazier. He said, that's impossible. He said, well, can you call my lawyer? They was like, who your lawyer? He said, Frazier. And that's when Frazier came through, and they let him go. But get to your scene then, because that was in the middle of
the drug store scene.
Yeah.
So basically, like you said, after
Mac and Rocky left out, remember he called the dude at the bar.
Fast forward a few scenes, and they're picking up on it. He's walking with what's his girl name? Lori to their house, her house, and he sees the guy from the bar following him. And he keeps doing a little weird stuff to
Yeah, because he was walking, and I think he seen this like a mirror, and he seen the dude looking at him walking. But when the dude noticed he looking, he tried to look off. And that's when he went over there. He was like,
something's wrong with my eye.
He said, do I got something in my eye? And she was like, I don't know. He said, hold on. And looked at the mirror, and he caught him looking at him again. And then he said, it doesn't matter. I've seen everything.
Mm-hmm. And he takes her home and says, now say goodnight to me and stuff. And he runs off. And the dude's calling in more guys.
But yeah, he told her, walk right here. Say goodnight. She said, I don't live right here. He was like, just say goodnight. And she was like, all right, good night. And went like she was going in the house. But like you said, the whole time, the dude was behind him, telling the dudes in the car, like, come on, let's push up on them. They was ready to make their move.
So he rushes into the drugstore.
Mm-hmm.
The guy following him comes up behind him. He takes a phone call that they set up for him. He makes the guy who's following him, makes the drugstore guy go in the back.
Yeah.
He pulls that gun on him, take his gun, make him get in the phone booth and get down.
Yeah, while the dude that was following was taking the drugs to a dude in the back with the gun. He came behind him and was like, yeah, give me your gun. Yeah. Now get in the phone booth.
And his men come in and shoot him down.
Yeah,
he's hiding.
He said, now get in there deep too.
and after they leave out, he sneaks out the pharmacy door.
Yeah, because they came in there and just shot the phone booth all up. And when their man fell out, they was like, oh my God. And that's when all the commotion was going on, he snuck out the back. Yeah, I love that scene too.
Shows how brilliant he is.
Yeah, he was definitely smart. Let you know he in that life, he was on his toes. He always kept his head on the swivel.
What's your next
tighten up. Oh, my next scene is like you said at the end when well, is it kind of that? It's after jury get on the radio. Remember they was in the room, him, Rocky, Frazier, and Mac.
Oh yeah.
And they was listening to the radio, and Mac was like, man, Frazier was like, we got to do something about it. Mac was like, yeah, we're gonna kill him. And Rocky was like, hey, listen, we can do anything, but don't ever talk about you gonna kill him. Yeah, you ain't gonna do nothing. You're gonna have to deal with me. And he's like, what? You taking up for him? He said, like I said, man, y'all can do whatever y'all gotta do, but you better keep your hand off Jerry. Then he was like, all right. They Frazier was like, just cool down, guys. We'll find a way to take care of it. And Rocky was like, all right, I'm gonna see y'all later on. And he was leaving out, but they went over there and got in a conversation. And he opened the door, but then went in the other room. And when the door closed, he shut the bathroom door. Was in there listening, and they was like, and the dude Mac was like, man, I hope you was faking in front of him. He said, yeah, I was just saying that in front of him. He said, I think Father Jury, since they best buddies like that, he probably stashed our books and stuff over there. So we can go kill Father Jury and get the books all in one time. And the whole time Rocky come out the bathroom. You know, I can give you that shoulder jump like when he ready to work.
I was say you pointed out to me that every time he's about to do his job, he always gives that shoulder.
Throw the shoulders up there, like, yeah, let's go. It came out. What he killed both of them.
He killed Mac.
Yeah, he shot Mac right there. And then
Frazier
hit him with the lamp. Then remember, because he's about to shoot.
But he knocked him down.
Yeah, he started shooting through the door.
And it's left to the end of.
Yeah, he shot I think he shot an innocent bartender or something too. Remember, because when he shot through the door, it went through the door. I thought the
bartender got down.
Oh yeah, he ducked. And it hit all the mirrors and stuff.
And hit Frazier.
But I loved when he ran outside. He got in a big shootout and he did something that a lot of movies don't do. He had them revolvers and he took a lot of bullets and he was actually reloading the gun after he shot it. Sometimes he might have went over 6, but at least he was reloading it. And then he killed a bunch of coppers.
And gangsters.
Killed gangsters, a couple of coppers.
A few innocents here and there.
I don't think he killed no innocent people. Because remember he was shooting at the gangsters when he was on the balcony and he was trying to come down. But they were shooting and then so he had to run out.
You're right.
Yeah, so then they tear gassed him and Father Jury came in there. And what he do? He turned himself in for Jury.
He's a traitor friend.
Rocky was a good guy. But so who's your what's your next scene?
The final scene of the movie. After turning himself in for the rat, they keep playing in the newspaper how Rocky's is going down. Got the death penalty. And it just keep counting down for like the months and weeks and days passing.
And it's showing Soapy and them keep reading the newspaper. One thing about Soapy, I mean, not to cut you off, he's very intelligent for a street kid. He can read very well.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah, I'm talking about he can count, but I'm talking about he can read very well and comprehend what he reading. But go ahead, back to what you were saying, my fault.
And then they show you in his cell. He's disrespecting the guard because the guard is disrespectful.
Yeah.
The priest is saying that the rat can come in.
Yeah, except Father Jury could come in, yeah.
The rat comes in the room and he's like, I want you to ruin your reputation for all time for me. So these boys don't follow you. You have millions of them around the
country. He said, do me a favor. He said, what you want me to do? I can't do no more favors for you. I'm in jail. He was like, no, this favor is more important than anything you did, and you can do it right now. He's like, what's that? He said, what? Say it. He's like, I ain't gonna be yelling. He said, that's what I want. I want you to be a coward. He's like, what? That's the only thing I got left?
I felt so great.
Yeah, you think I'm gonna do that? Like, why would I do that? He said, because Soapy and the boys, they've been looking up to you. You know what they told me when I was coming up here. You know, And I think they can still have a life if you just do this favor. And he was like, no, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. You know, when he got out the cell, remember that guy was like, yeah, you're going to burn. You're going to turn yellow. And all that. He was like, man, I want to spit in your face. But when he got out the cell, he snatched away from him and punched him hit him right on his chin.
The last.
Yeah, I loved it.
The last shred of honor he was able to give.
Yeah, then he's walking down the hallway. But Jerry keeps saying, please do it. He's like, no way, I ain't doing it.
This rat of a man.
Yeah, he kept doing it all the way down to the door. And then he felt nice and did it.
That shows how much he loves a stupid rat.
Boy, I think it shows how much he loves Soapy and them. Because he was willing to risk the last piece of
He's doing it so for the rat.
And he knew he could save some of them. I think that's
I know
more
he can
why
save
he
a few of them, but I know he's doing it for the rat and some percentage of him.
But yeah, true, some of it. But I think it's more for the boys because you see, he was spending all the time with them. They was hanging in his room. You know, he was telling them how to be good dudes, treat people fair. Even when they was at the gym, they was bullying the other kids. Remember, he smacked. He's like, that ain't cool. Like, don't do that. So, I mean, you know, I think it was more about them because he's seen a lot of him and them, and I don't think he had an older person who was in position to help him out.
Even if it was for them.
But he was going to lead them the wrong way now. But I think he still would have liked to see them come up out the gutter because they was hanging in the same spot he used to be hanging in. Because you remember when they stole his money, he knew right where they went at. So I think it was more for them. Because if you steal $500 from me and I don't like you, especially in them times, you talking about the 30s, $500 probably like $100,000 now. Or 10,000.
I still don't like it.
Oh no!
I feel the rat encouraged it.
I think he looked at Jerry as his man and was like, I mean, he do.
I think the rat just informed him about the kids, and that's what caused it.
Yeah, he used the kids as a weakness for I think.
And that's just why he's not a friend.
And then now I'm glad you brought that up. Now here's the problem. You supposed to be a preacher, a priest, an honest man, a man of God, and you out here lying. And it's cool, and you saying, oh, so he's saying it's like a little white lie. It ain't gonna hurt nobody.
It ruins your friend's reputation for the rest of his life.
I mean, reputation is meaningless as long as you know who you are.
I know what I'm saying. For years and years, they're gonna be like, oh, this guy, we thought he was so great, now he sucks.
I mean,
and they'll never know the truth.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter.
If I was in that situation, it would matter to me. But
I mean, yeah. I mean, you want to keep your honor.
Not even that. I just also for them the thing that this is probably like the only father figure they probably had in a long time.
Yeah, but was it a positive father though? Do you think I would be a good father if I was outside telling you to do stuff that was in my past or stuff like that?
No, but what if it's the only father they know?
I mean, that's cool. He's showing them love, but is he showing them good love? Sometimes that's better. That's worse than no love because I'm promoting you to go out here and harm people. Because you got to think back then, they wasn't selling no weed. They were extorting. They was
racketeering.
Yeah, doing a bunch of racketeering. I mean, killing.
He's only raising them the way he only knew.
I mean, yes, I never said, but he also knew it was wrong. See, the difference is, if you're doing something and you don't know it's wrong, then people really can't blame. But if you know it's wrong, you can't do it. And then my thing is, they was kids. See, that's where my problem comes in. But that's how it is always. They pray, you get the kids. They pray on kids. But I know you still don't care about none of that. Yeah. Hey, well, go ahead. You have anything else to say?
No.
Yeah, I like that review because I like to see you like that. We like to thank y'all.
Thanks everyone. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And comment down below the next movie you want us to do.
All right, y'all have a nice one.